Metric or imperial? That's what I want to talk about today. And then I'm referring to the metric system or the imperial system of measurements, normally about distance and weight. And the metric system is the one that most of you will be used to. That's if you live in Europe. It's the system that uses 10 as a basis. There's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. There's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. There's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. That's the metric system. In Britain, however, many people still use the so-called imperial system. And to other people's ears, that sounds very strange. In that system, for instance, if we think of measurements in distance, you have inches. 1 inch is about 2.5 centimeters, but you have 12 inches in 1 foot, 3 feet in 1 yard, 22 yards in 1 chain, 10 chains in 1 furlong, and then 8 furlongs in 1 mile. Sounds complex. Ever since 1965, officially, Britain uses the metric system. But there's a big difference between the official position and ordinary people's minds. In their minds, most people in Britain still use imperial measurements. Ever since 1985, it's forbidden to trade in imperial measurements. Everything in trade needs to be in the metric system. But immediately there are exceptions. For instance, milk, beer and cider can be sold in pints, and a pint is an imperial measurement, just over half a litre. So very strange, but in a pub in Britain you'd buy beer in pints or half pints, but your soft drinks, well, you get those in centilitres. Bit of a strange system. Britain is really half-hearted about the whole metric versus imperial system. The two areas where the metric system really prevails, they are science and school. Yes, indeed, in school, everyone in Britain learns about the metric system and becomes familiar with millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. But once they step outside of school, it all seems to evaporate and they keep on thinking in imperial measurements. Ask just about anyone in Britain how tall they are and they'll normally reply in feet and inches. I'm 5'10", rather than in meters and centimeters, because that's real life, and real life for them is still expressed in imperial measurements. Also, for instance, petrol. Petrol is sold by the litre officially, but people think of petrol in gallons. The UK gallon is about 4.5 litres. Ask them, for instance, how economical their car is, and they'll express that in how many miles to the gallon the car does, rather than how many litres it uses per 100 kilometres. It's a strange thing. Officially, everything is metric, but in real life, it's the imperial system that prevails. A very strange exception to that now, what with COVID-19, the whole corona crisis, well, one of the measures in place in Britain is that you need to keep a social distance of 2 meters. And I really wonder how many people in Britain secretly within their own minds convert that into feet, because that is what they know really. I hope that you found this interesting. If you have any suggestions for further subjects for these videos, please leave a comment below. Thank you and see you again.